this is going to be a movie review. And a movie review you will get. So let's talk about the movie 65. So, I have not completed 65 as of filming this video. I'm not going to spoil anything if you've not seen it, and I'm not even going to talk about it. I've watched almost all of it, but unfortunately some things happened and I had to stop. But I wanted to make this video. So, this is supposed to be taking place, this may be a little spoiler, but it's supposed to be taking place on Earth 65 million years ago. First thing off the bat, that time has actually, to the best of my knowledge, has been pushed back to 66 million years ago at the time of the dinosaurs instead of 65. More accurate dating methods have been showing that. If you don't know how they date dinosaur bones, or dinosaur fossils and fossils in the area, it's not radiocarbon dated, and it's not carbon-14 dating like a lot of people say. If you're a Christian and you hear that, and you hear other Christians say that, that's false. Carbon-14 is used to date things up until around 12,000 at the very, very limit, 12 to 14,000, something like that. Usually below 10,000, below 8,000 is the best. Okay, so it's not radiocarbon dating that we use. The half-life of carbon-14 is just too short. There are other radioactive elements that are deposited when the dinosaur bones were formed. So a lot of their dinosaur bones are radioactive. Most things are radioactive to a degree, for the simple fact that radiation is everywhere. Whether it be radiation from the sun or from the earth itself, minerals within the earth. It's only extreme high amounts of radiation that pose risk. Prolonged exposure to high amounts of radiation can cause radiation poisoning, and it messes with the DNA, basically. It stresses the DNA, causes the DNA to not replicate properly, and it will send cells into massive, basically massive regeneration. So the cells will just keep multiplying and not stop when they're supposed to. And that's where a lot of things like tumors come from. But the dinosaur, how they date dinosaur bones is by using these radioactive elements. I'll put the elements here because I can't remember off the top of my head, and I didn't research this. Yay me. But anyway, so these elements have these radioactive isotopes have a set half-life, and we can judge how old something is by the radiation put off by the bones, basically, or by the object. The amount of said mineral in those bones gives us a rough idea, because radioactive decay is pretty well constant. I mean, it's constant. Uranium, carbon-14, any radioactive isotope breaks down at a steady pace. And what they do is they measure the amounts of these dinosaur bones, and they can guess, they can more than guess, they can come really close to saying that this bone is this old because of the isotopes that's in it. Okay. That was a long ramble for a part of the thing that wasn't even part of, I mean, it wasn't a big deal of the movie. My biggest issue is the look of the dinosaurs. And the fact that many are not dinosaurs at all. They pushed this as being a dinosaur movie, but what they gave us is monsters. If they were giving us a monster movie, that would be completely fine. And even from what I've seen, the concept that's there would be a really good movie. I think it was poorly executed. They went off of what a lot of people that I've heard spout over the years is that here's a picture of one of the dromaeosaurs that was in the movie. As you can see, it is featherless. It's not good. The tail is actually not stiff, which is for a dromaeosaur should be stiff. At least stiffer than what it is, and but even Jurassic Park gets that wrong. And even they get the featherless part wrong as well. But they do not have feathers. We now know that dromaeosaurs did have, and the reason I say that they listen to what some people say is because there's a lot of people that say they don't like the fact that dinosaurs had feathers because they're not scary enough. They're not cool enough. Birds are fierce, so a dromaeosaur would be scary enough. A raptor. A T-Rex is just wrong. And then you have these things. I don't even know what they're supposed to be unless it's some sort of crocodile. They're four-legged something, some kind of monster. There's several different, just from what I saw, there's several different. What they could have done, in my opinion, if I had made the movie, what I would have done, is made them at least somewhat realistic. We need a good, realistic dinosaur movie. Make the dromaeosaurs have feathers, show them they're avian, they're non-avian, but show that they were related to like avian dinosaurs. It's just the T-Rex. Make the T-Rex. There's no movie that I've seen that's had an accurate T-Rex. Although T-Rex's image does change quite a bit with each new study that's produced. The things like, did it have lips? Did it not have lips? Was it feathered? Was it not feathered? This, that, and the other. There's a lot of debate over T-Rex for the simple fact that T-Rex has been studied a lot. And as far as T-Rex having feathers, it's unknown. We know that earlier Tyrannosaurs had feathers. The skin impressions from T-Rex that we do have does not show feathers. So either they were partially feathered as adults, or the babies could have been feathered in a down and then they lost that as they got older. We don't know. But the skin impressions that we found show that it's featherless, and we don't know for sure. But if they would make the T-Rex more realistic, they make the dromaeosaurs more realistic, they make the environment look pretty good. There was, large swamps and that kind of thing. But if they wanted to make an accurate movie about the Hell Creek Formation, which would have been a good choice, because that's where T-Rex is, and has been documented. That's where the KT boundary that we know of. That's a formation that we know of that is the last right before the dinosaurs went extinct, before the asteroid impact. And we know that this is when that took place in the movie, because it's T-Rex, it's, dromaeosaurs, that kind of thing. The dromaeosaurs were not named, the T-Rex wasn't named, nothing was really named, and it's basically just a big monster movie, which is completely fine. It's just not, it's not a dinosaur movie. Even Jurassic Park, which is a dinosaur movie, isn't technically a dinosaur movie because they are genetically engineered monsters and not true dinosaurs. And it's even, I think the Jurassic World is mentioned, but in the Jurassic Park book, if you've ever read the book, that is one of the big things that's put forth, is that the dinosaurs have been genetically modified to be more appealing to what people's expectations of dinosaurs are. That's basically the reason the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park look the way they do. It wasn't because that was scientifically accurate in the book. It was that they manipulated them to make them more appealing to people based on people's preconceived conceptions of dinosaurs. And that's kind of the way this movie has went about. They just took a few dinosaurs that are well known and a popular look, and they made a decent monster movie. There were some, intense scenes and that kind of thing. But do not go into this thinking that it is any kind of realism whatsoever. But if you want to watch a monster movie, go ahead. But don't go into it thinking it's dinosaurs. Hopefully one day we will get a good dinosaur movie. But until then, we get what we have. Watch some of the old dinosaur movies if you like old movies. Planet of the Dinosaur, or Dinosaur Planet, I can't remember what it's called. It is an extremely similar movie in that it involves space travel along with these dinosaurs. It was on Amazon, I think, but you can check. It's a really, I wouldn't even call it a B movie, I would call it maybe a C movie, but the claymation, or the claymation stop motion animation of the dinosaurs is extremely good. The stories are similar but not the same. And this movie, the Dinosaur Planet or whatever, is made in the 60s or 70s, I think. Carnosaur was the one that competed with Jurassic. Well, they tried to compete with Jurassic Park. There was no way. They were low budget, but it was they were all right. Most of the dinosaur movies we have, unfortunately, are B or lower. We have very few really good A-list movies, with the exception of the Jurassic Park franchise. And even Jurassic Park franchise, the last few, I liked them, but I'm not going to say they're great movies like the first one. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit rambly, but yeah, if you want a good movie to watch that is a monster movie and not a dinosaur movie, you can watch 65. I think Sam Raimi produced it, and I like Sam Raimi. I mean, heck, I'm a Evil Dead fan. Which is actually another movie I'm going to watch is Evil Dead Rise pretty soon, so hopefully. But you all have a great day, stay safe, and I'll talk to you again later. Hey folks, why haven't you subscribed yet? Tell them, Lily.